Alright, so we're going to go over how to use the Vernier Caliber. This is the caliber right here. I know you can't see in the video, but the scale has been drawn on the board. We're going to talk about the step-by-steps and how to read it. This is a Vernier Caliber that is in thousandths of an inch. So on the side of it, it will have something that looks like this, representing thousandths of an inch accuracy. The way you read this caliber, let's start out with each tick mark and how these calibrations work. So you'll notice here at the start, when the caliber is closed, there is an upper bar that slides and a lower bar with these numbers on it. They should be perfectly lined up, meaning the caliber is zeroed out. Each one of these markings here, these longer marks, and then there represent hundredths of an inch. So for instance, this one here is 0.1. This represents 0.2. This would be 0.3. This would be 0.4, and so on, all the way till you get to this. So notice we go 2, 4, 6, 8, 1. So this would be 1 inch. And then 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, so on and so forth. So this would be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, so on and so forth. So you have the inch marks, so you'd have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, all the way out. Then you have the hundredths, so it shows 2, 4, and 6, but you have 100, 200, 300, 400. And then each one of these tick marks, these smaller units right here, so I'm going to blow this up so it's a little bit bigger. It looks something like this. So this scale right here, this part has been blown up to look like this. So this again represents 1/100th of an inch, this longer tick mark. And this would represent 2 hundredths, or 2 hundred thousandths is how it's read. And then this space from here to here, each one of these tick marks represents an additional 25 thousandths. So you have the 1 inch mark, you have the hundredths mark, and then you have the 25 thousandths. So this would represent 25 thousandths, this would represent 50 thousandths, this would represent 75 thousandths, then you would have the 100 thousandths. Then you would go 125 thousandths, 150 thousandths, 175 thousandths, and 200 thousandths. So that's what each one of these smaller tick marks represents on the caliber itself, on the bottom line. Then you have the scale at the top up here, and I've drawn them where they line up, but it looks more like this, to where you have your individual thousandths. Each one of these tick marks, this space here, represents an additional thousandth of an inch. So the way you read this caliber, you're going to start off by finding the 0 top mark, where that bar fits in. So if you look right here, it's falling right in this gap. So I'm going to find my inches. So we see 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1 inch. So we have 1 inch, and then we have 100 thousandths, so that's 1.1, and then one more tick mark, which will represent 25 thousandths. So right here, if we look at this specific tick mark, this is going to represent 1.125 thousandths. Then what we're going to do is we're going to look at this top bar, and we're going to look at which one of these top lines lines up with the line below it perfectly. So notice this one fits right in the middle. This one's still in the middle, getting a little closer, getting really close. Notice this one lines up perfect, all the way straight through. And this one's a little off, a little off, a little off. So this number right here would represent 6 thousandths. So we're going to add that to our original number. And the reading of this caliber would be 1 inch and 131 thousandths of an inch. So that is how to read the Vernier caliber.